All right, great. Everyone got to know. How's everyone feeling today? Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate your time and commitment to me and what Office Up Cafe is about. I appreciate your sacrifice. I know it's a warm day outside. You can do so many other things right now, but you decided to come here, talk about your journey, your book, and how you got to the book. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for guests for joining us with you. To get possible guests as well. So we're for a awesome event. Our fifth author, Kayla Everett, she's on her way here. So she had another event she got to do yesterday. She will be here. So we got an awesome chef here as well. Black old chef. She will talk about her business as well. What she had for y'all today as well. So this is a time. So I'm Devon Howard. For those who don't know me, I was born and raised in North Philadelphia. I'm an advocate for the youth. In the past 5 years, I've been an advocate for literacy, youth development, and I believe reading is fundamental. I believe reading because I hated reading growing up, especially in public. I hate reading out loud because I know that people like John's age will laugh at me every time I talk. So I had to overcome that. So as I got older, I got more confident in myself, and again, I began to express myself. So about 9 years ago, I wrote my first book called Release, basically collection of poems and poetry that I wrote during my college years. And I never had I had some of this back then, but I called the other authors, share my book. That year, I wrote some of my categories about nonprofits, about how I got that started. And then now, somehow, 5 years ago, God told me to start Office Cafe. I wanted a platform for authors to come together, to be around like-minded people that'll support them and network, because you never know who you're gonna be in the room, you know who you're gonna connect with. So I started Office Cafe 5 years ago at my old church home in North Philadelphia on Friday night. So the three offers. Fast forward 5 years later, we have over 100 and almost over 170 offers participating in the cities. So basically from youth, from elderly people, people who have a heart, mind to tell the story and not what care what people think about it. It takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there, your journey, and your book out there, because for people to read and critique and analyze things like that. So I'm just doing this by God's grace and mercy, because God's giving a platform. I want people to come along and share with this journey. So this is the first time we had the Office Cafe in person in a year. So the last couple of I've been pretty much virtually, because I believe in networking and coming together and meet people, you know, just building that connection. And you never know who going to connect with at this event. There were so many offers that told me that they're connected with other offers, they had started other business with those offers because of this event. So I want to put a platform for us to come together in this of COVID, make sure everyone's okay, everyone's good to go, because I want y'all, this time to celebrate all the youth, to share your journey, share your book, share your journey, how you got to the book. You know, it's what it's about. So when we had 5 offers, I didn't have like 7, 10, 9, but it was only 5 because of God's number is only 5. So we had to have a good time. We had to ask questions, fellowship, network, things like that. So we have 5 offers coming up. We're going to have our first 3 go, and then I'm going to have Miss Tiffany Clark come up and do herself about what she does. You feel like they're going to have last 2 offers go. So hopefully, I'm just going to be yourselves, take your time. There's no way how to do this. It's your book. It's your story. You can go anywhere you want to go. So just take your time. Just be yourselves. Like, I'm not telling you how to say it. Just be authentic. That's how you got to this book. But be authentic to yourself and be true to yourself. You ain't overcome with a lot of stuff, not of long nights, not of fear, not of doubt, not of anxiety about putting it together. But it's to celebrate that and make sure we can come together. So, and each author presents There will be time for you to ask questions or comments about that book, things like that. So, so y'all ready? Yes. All right, our first offer, she was an offer before she came before, and I want to introduce her again. She wanted to come back again and talk about a second book. So I will give it a round of applause to Danielle Fidel. So Danielle has an passion for writing since an early age, which is what motivated her to obtain a master's degree in English from Penn State University. As a Christian, she aims to use her words as a tool to inspire, empower, and touch people's lives. She has authored 2 books. Her last release is titled Revelation, about more than going to church, in which she writes about the importance of business and a personal relationship with God. In 2019, she has published a poetry book called titled Crack a Window, Homes and Humans Need Ventilation. In that book, she expresses the importance of having outlets for the everyday trials of life and allowing God to renew us. Danielle serves as an activity coordinator and youth leader at her church. She has an inspirational blog where she encourages her readers to read through the Word of God. You can connect her through her website at www.daniellefidel.com. So let's welcome Mrs. Danielle Fidel. How you feel?
Okay. Is it okay if I say
that? Yeah.
Okay. All right. So good afternoon, everyone. This is my second book and also my second time having the privilege of speaking at the Authors Cafe. I am grateful to Levon for providing this platform for us authors to connect and to also help us to get our content out here. So my second book is titled Building a Relationship. It is about more than going to church. And it is about the importance and the benefits of having a relationship with God. And it is based off of my own spiritual journey. Like so many other people, I grew up in church, but I wasn't always in a relationship with God. And what I have come to find is that there is definitely a difference between the two. So I went through just a period in my life where I just became desperate to feel God in a different way. I just needed to know who he was outside of the walls of a church, outside of a church service. And so I went on just a journey to get to know him on a more intimate level. And what that looked like for me was first getting it in my mind that I wanted to get to know God in a different way. And I feel like that is so key because the word of God says, if you draw not to God, he'll draw not to you. And so just that was the first thing, making up in my mind that I wanted to get closer to God. The second thing that I did was really begin to study my Bible. Of course, I had read this chapter and that chapter, this scripture and that scripture, but I took it back to Genesis 1:1, and I really just wanted to set that foundation. So all those effects that I had previously skipped over before, I made sure that I did not skip over them before. I made sure that I just understood how everything tied into each other because it's hard to understand the rest of the Bible if you don't start off with that foundation. And lastly, what I really did was become intentional about creating a prayer life. I used to have a hard time just being able to sit in the presence of God, and I just became intentional about just having conversations with him, just talking to him in everyday language, talking to him about whatever was on my heart and my mind at the time. And in doing so, God just began to just push me into my purpose and to start my gifts. And like Levon said, in 2018, I believe it was, I published my first book, Crack a Window, Homes and Humans Need Ventilation. And Levon invited me onto his show to talk about that book. And he ended up asking me a question that he asked all of his guests at that time, but for some reason, it really just resonated with me. So he asked me, when did I have my Romans 12:2 experience? Which is, in case you're not familiar, don't be conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And so when he asked me that question, I really stopped and I realized that it was at that point in my life that I really had allowed God to renew my mind and to transform me. So about a week later, I'm home in bed, trying to go to sleep. And God put that whole conversation back to my mind. He just began to lay things in my spirit about the importance of just really not just going to church, not just being in church, but being in relationship with him. And so I began to write about the importance of knowing God for ourselves and using my own journey as an example. And so I want to say that even though the book is titled Building Relationship, it's also about maintaining it. Because what is the purpose of building anything if we're not going to do the work that it takes to maintain it? And then I will lastly say that there are parts in the book that they make you cry a little bit, parts that make you laugh, but my prayer is that whoever reads it, it pushes them to get closer to God and to know Him in a different way. So with that, my name is Danielle Fennell, and I thank you guys for your time.
Any questions?
How long did it take you to write your book and get your thoughts together?
So it was a journey. So I started writing the book. I'm trying to think because I stopped writing it during a portion of the pandemic because there was just some more things that God was doing in my life. So I put it down for a while and then I picked it back up. And so in total, I would say it probably took me about a little bit over a year to write it. Your first book came out in 2000. My second book came out this year. Yes, this year. Okay. Yes, it is. Okay. Plan on like continuing writing any question or like looking books or like doing some other type of books. In the future, or was I planning that? Oh, so in the future, yes. So I plan on continuing to write about my faith. That's my passion. That's what I feel like God has called me to do. And so I feel like anything that I write is going to be reflective of my faith.
I have a question. What was one of the biggest challenges on it?
One of the biggest challenges was being authentic. I think a lot of times as Christians, we don't always want to admit the things that we struggle with. We want to just act like, I don't know, we just been Christians our whole life and we just understand everything about our Christianity. So really just allowing myself to be vulnerable and talk about the things that maybe we don't always talk about in church.
Right now?
Yes, it's available on Amazon.
Okay.
Yes. So you can also go to my website, daniellefennell.com, and it'll take you over directly to it. It's also available to the internet.
So you want to post? Did you have? How you think about writing third one? If you have, we'll focus on.
God has been placing some different things as far as another book that I might write. But I just believe on praying on things first before I act on it. And so for now, I'll just say I'm just going to focus on this book right now. And I'm looking forward to build a relationship.
And I want to say about her book came at the perfect time because of the pandemic and all stuff going on. People don't know who to trust because most of last year we was home. We was isolated. So basically, we couldn't go out with friends, to our family. Most of the time with FaceTime or Zoom, you know? And that's when God told us to work on yourself. Find out who you really are. Am I doing God's work? You know, am I doing what God's called me to do? That's the time to re-examine yourself, build a relationship outside of church because most of us were closed. We're virtual. You know what I mean? You know how virtual is cool, but in person is totally different atmosphere. So we had to spend time with God. Am I doing the right thing? Am I in the right church? Because, you know, it gives you time to examine yourself. And the Bible says, examine yourself daily. You know, work on yourself, work on your things, which you need to do. And I think her days is more about going to church on Sundays or Tuesdays, whatever church you have. It's about a daily walk, a daily journey, you know. It's about being accountable, being responsible. Are you speaking love or are you speaking death? You know, so to people. So we gotta be mindful of how we serve God because God wants everything you do. Everything you do. So again, thank you so much. All right. Our next offer will come to the stage is a man that I have known, and I'm looking forward to hear his story, his journey. So let's get up to John Karen. Our experience working in the public school system with educated young men has taught them how unfair our civic institutions are. Black parents spent that the public schools they send their sons to and the school systems that they might have to deal with will treat our Black boys fairly. Unfortunately, this is not the case. Black boys are labeled and placed in special education classes and labeled faster than boys of any other race. The disparity between Black boys and other races graduate high school and college is alarming. More than Black boys are more likely to be incarcerated. So in 2012, John started thinking about the skills that Black boys need to become successful in society. His goal was to give Black boys a toolbox that they can use to navigate life successfully. That's why he created 5 pillars of leadership parent guide. John Cameron, MAD, LPC is a combination of frank leadership, education, counseling, mental therapy, entrepreneurship, and educated youth. John has worked as a guidance counselor and client manager for the School of Philadelphia, crisis screener for the state of New Jersey, behavior therapist, mobile therapist, and treatment specialist supervisor for Ferris School for Boys located in Wilmington, Delaware. John is the former co-owner of Top Notch Profile Magazine Incorporated, owner and CEO of HumShirts.com and the Cameron Group. The Cameron Group provides mental therapy and leadership development for young boys and young men. His website is www.thecamerongroup.info. He has a podcast called Somebody Needs to Be Heard. Heard this?
Somebody's there.
I was already hear this at palmbeat.com. He's on Psychology Today /Camp Group. And he's a therapist at www.thisisyourcenter.com. So let's welcome Mr. John Cameron.
Thank you. I'm not a big talker, so just bear with me. My name is John Cameron, and for most of my life, my adult life, I worked at a maximum security school in Delaware, called the Ferris School for Boys. So this is a school not like Glen Mills, where kids are found once you're found guilty, and you stay there. So most of these kids have serious crimes. So you might stay from a year up to 18 years old, depending on the crime. So most of my guys that I supervised, they had either attempted murder or murder charges. Of course, 90% of the school was Black. So I stayed there for a few years, actually for almost 17 years, and I left and I became a guidance counselor and then eventually a crime management school in Philadelphia. But while I was there, I went to a lot of funerals of Black boys. I'm young. I might have gone to close to 100 funerals in my lifetime, which is sad. So, 2012, I started thinking about how to help. But I got a phone call from my fraternity brother, and he said, Shannon just got executed. So I'm like, okay, I knew Shannon. He was a kid that I raised at the detention center from the time he was 12 years old. And I knew he was on death row. So I said, what you mean you got executed? I said, he just got on death row. He said, well, he didn't want to spend the rest of his life on death row, 25, 30 years. So he petitioned the state of Delaware, and they executed him. So I thought about that and was thinking like, wow, we got to do better as a people. Like, there's no way, he did what he did. He's on death row with kids, and they turn to men, and they get to the point where they give up. So I started thinking about these pillars, I call them pillars, that we can use as a parent, because I'm old school, but I believe it starts at home. No matter what we do, it starts at home. And I created these pillars to help parents guide their kids again. Working in the school district, I get a lot of, from single parents, I just nothing I can do with them scare much. I don't know what to do. So I said, let me start putting these pillars together and kind of give them a toolbox on things I know, things I experienced, and failures and wins. And then I went to a blank. My sister died suddenly in December, and I just couldn't. I was like devastated. I'm real close to my sister, and then I could hear my sister passed away saying, "John, you got to get up and do something. You got to finish this. Like, you got to finish it." So I got one more. I started crying. I'm not a cry. I just started typing, and things just started flowing, and that's how I came up with the book. So my goal is to put as many parents' hands to help their children. I've been getting, I got a lot of positive feedback. I got a lot of negative feedback in Facebook. A lot from people who didn't look like us, who say it like that, telling me I'm being racist. And because the book says the 5 leadership for Black boys. What I explained to people was that's my first love. That's what I know. Black boys. And everywhere I've worked, there's been more Black boys than any other company. So I felt as though it was my job to do what I had to do to help these young Black boys, regardless. So I got about 58 messages DMs on Facebook from just people, that didn't look like us, which I'm okay with that. So I tell people, this, because my case was, I went through a lot of adversity. I was homeless for a little bit, while doing this book, and I lived with my sister for a while, and so I stop, go. So I told you it's not the thickest book in the world, but it got a lot of strong content to walk you through. I got a whole part, structure just on the brain itself to help you understand how the young man's brain works. Me being a therapist, I'm also a therapist as well. I try to help parents understand their kids. Most majority of you boys, men, their brain don't mature to about 27. That's why you get the silliness and why you keep going down the stick. Mature brain at the frontal lobe don't really mature to 27 years old. I'm not making excuses for some of the things these young guys do, but I'm just letting you know that's a big issue right there. So we have to keep nurturing them, and boys are always 2 years behind emotionally than girls. That's just a known fact. This is the way it is. And I said, while I'm on this earth, my next stage is to be the best therapist I can. In my practice, I only see males. That's because we got different issues than ladies. And there's not a lot of people that look like us that's in this field, but I committed to do the best I can. So that's my story. Thank you. Yes, I have a son and I have two daughters. So my son he battled ADHD as a young guy, and me and his mom worked with him, and now he's graduating from the University of Arizona this winter. Yeah, he's a little mature and he had to go through growing pains, but he'll have his degree in health administration out there, so I'm proud of him. And I have my 19-year-old at Bethune, making nursing. I'm so proud of her. And then I got a little Tina. She's 4, so she playing soccer right now. Yeah. I bought it for you. I bought it just one book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's just one. What I'm doing is that I'm working on the workbook to this. So this book is for the parents. I'm gonna have a whole workbook for the kids. So
That's
the
awesome.
entrepreneurs. I need something. What the pillars are, one is education, which is I'm for.
Yeah.
The other one is character, and I created a whole 9-step character piece for each word. The next one is goal setting. You got to teach them how to set goals, entrepreneurship, because that's, I believe that every leader, even if they don't, even if they have, need to know how an entrepreneurship mind frame if they want to even grow as a CEO. And then handling setbacks. And I think that's big. We got to teach our young guys to handle disappointment, setbacks, and move on. I'm online. I have a link right here. www.cameraGroup.info. I have cards we can go to straight to my book. And I'm selling from the muscle out my car. That's right.
I know that's right.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
I don't know if you mentioned it already. What's the age groups for bell therapy?
8 to 8.
8 to 80.
Yes.
Come on, somebody.
Yeah, and I'm on psychology today under the Cameron Group. But I got you my information. I got cards and stuff.
Right. And my second question, do you do like speaking engagement? I work at a middle school, I'm a middle school counselor.
Okay.
I do speaking engagements and functional.
Give me a call. I'll come through. Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you. Like I said, my goal is to try to help these young guys as much as possible. My story.
So I figured I'm missed it. What was your 5 pillars that you covered in the book?
Okay, the 5 pillars got education, character, goal setting, entrepreneurship, and handling setbacks.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I was wondering, like, why mental health was not one of the 5 pillars? Why mental health was not one of the pillars?
Well,
Yeah.
well, I actually talk about it in handling setbacks.
Okay.
So, there's a piece I talk about in the parents. I told them, especially for parents, where I said, you put your own oxygen mask on. That area, I talk about, you know, I was doing the plane, and they put the whole thing oxygen mask. They tell the parent, put your mask on first, and then there's a reason behind that. If you think you fall out, you can't help the kid. So put your mask on first, put your mental health. So I got a whole piece on that. You know, if you got some depression, anxiety, where you put you to sleep, what kind of treatment is there for you, and then put that on so you can be mentally healthy to help your child. Because we working at this, we got a lot of parents not mentally healthy right now. You know, they got their own stuff, so they can't help. They can't help themselves. They can't help their kids.
Get us round of applause for the John Camerons. I've been trying to get us to do this for like a couple of years now. So I finally got it. Yeah, I've been finally got on board, especially for a time like this for Black men, you know what I mean? For men in general, you know what I mean? Just to have a book for parents, you know, that's not like a young thing, get through, never get through life. You know, now we got young men that are acting as adults now, instead of develop as a teenager, develop their goals and dreams, what they want to do, identify who they are, what they want to become. So I think that's very important. I know we never should, because I'm definitely at school right now. I'm definitely doing good for a young man to have that there. So, all right, so get that part of John Cameron. Well, that's offer before I get into a little break. Is our youth author, our youngest one here today. So give it up. I actually met him at another event here a month ago. So it's kind of ironic how God works, because I met them at another event here. So it wasn't my mouth. I stopped by, I phoned it. I told my friend I'll stop by. I kept my word. I stopped by. I met him. So let's give a round of applause for John and Xavier. John and Xavier does science experiments, reading, and writing stories about his adventures. He is an 8-year-old, 2-time published author.
That's awesome.
He is an entrepreneur and STEM enthusiast for the Greater Philadelphia area. His favorite part about being an author is sharing a story through office visits, where he encourages other kids to write their own stories. Yes. And to having a small part in HBO's Mail in Easttown this year. John has developed an interest in acting. Additionally, he has been able to share his love of science on Exposure TV Network, the Joy Nook podcast, and Good Day Philadelphia Fox News. When he's not writing, acting, or conducting science experiments, John is learning Spanish, participating as a Cub Scout with Troop 126 from Enoch Tabernacle Church, managing his candy vending business, and playing Woblets. I've heard that too. Woblets, I heard that, yes. So let's give it up. Our youngest author, John and Xavier.
Hello. We're good. Going good.
It's called John's Virtual School Journey and John's Journey to Outer Space. The first one I wrote it because I love space and I really do like this dream to go to space. Well, because I don't know what's up there, and I really want to know what's on there. And a lot of kids really want to go to other places. And I really hope they get to them. And my second book is about virtual school when we had to do quarantine. We had to be virtual school. And John and I was working on the building school, but they went to virtual, so he thought it was gonna be bad. But it actually happened.
We often will have a mic for him because he still comes to the so I am I'm Adrian. Sean, a lot of people often wonder when did he first when did he write his first book? It was 2019. So it was 2018 we were at the Smithsonian here now. And we spent the day down there. And after a while it gets tired to the big museum. And I said, if you were to go to outer space, what do you think it would be like? The time he was 5, so he didn't really know much about space. And so we used his imagination, we wrote the book, we found the illustrator, and we published it. What that really did though was it gave him an outlet. It gave him an outlet to express himself, an outlet to write, to learn, as you mentioned, to be an entrepreneur, talk about, build certain skills, and so it's been a blessing in a lot of ways. He is also part of the reason why I think all of us are so tired. We've been up since 6. He is also a very active actor. And so we were filming this morning, filming next weekend. So it's a lot, yeah. It is a lot. But that's who he is. That's who he is. Feel free to check out his book. Just started a podcast with another young lady from Florida. Called Kids Got the Biz podcast. To highlight their work and to share with everyone. There are a lot of young folks out there doing some amazing things. And we want to support them. He is also, if you all are familiar with Read by the Fourth, which is a Philadelphia organization, is encouraging kids to read by the fourth. Statistics show if a child can read well by 4th grade, they will do better in life. And so we have partnered with the Mighty Engine and SEPTA and Read by the Fourth. You will see in October these bus monitors, all of these beautiful kid faces. This face will be one of them on the bus. So when you see it in the SEPTA station, there will be kiosks with stories from students and kids all over Philadelphia. Let people know, share it with them. Anything we can do to keep kids. And while they're on the SEPTA station, while they're in SEPTA, that's the perfect time. So that's who we are. Thank you.
Raise your hand if you didn't get a call.
Thank you.
Oh, 3rd grade.
That's awesome.
It's going to be about story.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Great. Any other questions?
What's the being a school or?
Virtual.
Right.
What's your favorite book, and then do you have a favorite author?
My favorite book is my books. John the Virtual School Journey.
That's we like the Humphrey series and Party Dog.
favorite subject?
Everyone goes crazy. They're asking us.
I'm just checking, you know.
It's he has an agent. He's like he doesn't clear, so he's never done a play. It's all either so he was the extra. It's all either feature film or short. So he was in Bear Beast on HBO. He only looked like boy show.
Wow.
And then he is in so the show is going to be coming out for PBS called The Rainbow Prince. That they film, and it's about racism and fighting against racism. The film he filmed this morning was an anti-violence, and he was the lead. So he was stopping the guy. So when we talk, the opportunities, a lot of kids out there for doing work, and we'll tell you, it's like it's a hot right now. That's because their stories, their point, you have to isolate and support them in their stories.
I think she had a question.
It's okay, I was just gonna ask, what do you like more, writing or acting?
I want to make a comment and answer the question. I want to commend you, Mom, for supporting us. You know, and how do you take time from him doing so much stuff at 8 years old and then him being John being a kid? So how you balance that?
It's hard. We do take time off. So there are periods of time where he does not, and we turn things down because I do want him to be able to go outside, play, ride a bike, go to the park.
Yes.
So every chance I get to do that, he definitely do. But we will turn down opportunities because it's important. So he does Cub Scouts. That's a life skill benefit. So we always try to get him to volunteer different places, but also just to play it. Like sometimes I come downstairs and my kitchen is something totally different. He just fix up stuff and make some stuff. He likes playing Roblox. So, it's been a little easier actually with the pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Too, because you don't have so much to shut down. So going to the park, but really it's the help of family. I cannot express that enough. My mom moved here to help us. My aunt moved here. My mother-in-law is not far. So it is a blessing to have so much support. And that allows us to support. Oh, yeah, my mom. That's my mom. Thank you guys.
Is there a good time so far? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have the entrepreneur share about what she's doing, what happened today. She's applied the food for all you today is about what she does, and then after she goes, we'll take a 15-minute break for you on the network, eat, relax. The bathroom's right there as well, bathroom. And then our last two offers go. They have the giveaways and they go from there. So I'll have a person here share about her business, what she does. Then we're gonna have a 15-minute break and they go from there. So let's get up Miss Tiffany Clark.
Good afternoon, everybody. As LeBron said, my name is Tiffany Clark. I am the CEO of the TMD Experience. I'll be honest, I'm a little ill-prepared. My intent was to drop off the lunches and then keep it moving, but I don't know, something resonated to stay here today. So I'm here, and I just want to say, so far, I am so appreciative of your stories that you guys shared. Young men, keep pushing, keep going. I don't personally know you, but I'm proud. Being a mom of two girls, I have a 16-year-old and a 9-year-old, and I see their ambitions and things that they want to do, and to see moms just nurturing and pouring into that is such a blessing to see. I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
John.
John. Oh, no, yours. You're John too?
Yeah,
Wait,
both
you're
John,
both
both
John.
John, yeah.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, yeah.
I'm like, okay. It is a good thing. But John, I commend you. Our young men, they are struggling at a rapid rate, and to see someone come in and be able to be an anchor for them and be supportive, because between not getting support at home, not getting support at school, our young men, they are leaving here at an alarming rate. And just to be able to see you do your thing, God bless you. Seriously. And I think her name's Danielle. Danielle, right? Danielle, right here, this resonates so heavy with me because this is where I'm at right now. And I was in a relationship, stepped out of it because I was doing Tiffany, and stepped back into it again. So yeah, I definitely this. But getting on to what you guys have today, I just made quick stuff. You guys have chicken salad sandwiches, tuna sandwiches, and veggie wraps, along with some water and some Lay's chips. But about the business, I actually expanded my business. I started off as TMD Catering back in 2016, and I was catering for a large hotel corporation, and it just wasn't enough for me. And I've never been a person that's okay with just having the bare minimum or feeling like I'm stagnant. Like I like to keep growing, keep learning. And no, I'm sorry, I just couldn't work for nobody. Don't worry. That was where I was at. So TMD Catering got started because I did a girlfriend of mine barbecue. She moved to Delaware, her and her family. And she was like, Tip, you gotta stop playing because this food, like, girl, this stuff needs to be in somebody's restaurant. To the point where like family members, they go out to eat, they be like, they Tiffany food, but you know, like it is what it is. But over the years, I've always been very creative. I've always kind of, you know, had an explosive mind. Y'all see, I talk a lot, but like this has just kind of been my niche, the food and being able to cater, and I'm a people pleaser. And beyond that, just seeing the reaction of people when they, you know, come together and have a home cooked meal, there's something so special about that. You know what I'm saying? So that is the thing that kind of really geared me and got into it. Then I kind of shifted and was kind of doing events with family members and started to decorate and putting weddings and things like that together. They were like, Tiffany, I need a venue. Tiffany, I need this. And Tiffany, I need that. And so my mom was like, well, why don't you do an event plan business? So that's what we branched off to January 2021. That's where we became the TMD Experience. You will literally, you come to me, tell me, let's say you're doing a birthday party and it's a surprise birthday party for a family member. You give me details, you tell me what you want, and we execute it. And we do it flawlessly. I am very meticulous. I am very picky. My OCD is heavy, y'all, but I noticed that it benefits the business and it gets the job done. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have any cards. I'm so sorry. I have no problem sharing my social media information with you guys, as well as my website. The Instagram is TMD_experience with an X. And something resonated so heavy. TMD is a David. So before I do anything these days, I go to God about stuff because I can't trust my own understanding. It's just what it is. And I prayed on that experience thing because everybody is spelling experience the normal way with the EX. But I had to go with the X because there's something so special about that X factor. So that's what I kind of, the name kind of is like wordplay. So if you click the bio part on my Instagram, you'll be able to go to my link tree. And the link tree has some of the services, including the website. So that's my little spiel, you guys. Thank you so much again, LaVon, for having me. Throughout the year, I do donations to nonprofit organizations. LaVon's one of them that I always look out for because I just love what he's doing with these kids. And there's a few others throughout the city that I volunteer for as well. But my information should be on my Instagram. If anybody have any questions, I'm here to begin. If you have any now, feel free, guys. Yes, so the name of the business is actually our name. My name is Tiffany. The N is for my youngest Mackenzie, and the D is for my oldest Dayera. They are part CEOs of the company. It was very big for me to be able to leave a legacy for them, even if they do not decide to be in the business. Because my oldest, she goes to FLC and she does musical theater, and she is like phenomenal, and it's just like scary how talented that girl is. But you know, I see her, even if this is not the path that you want to take with the business, you will have something to fall back on, just in case you know that doesn't work. Even if it's not for you, it's for your kids and the grandkids and so on and so forth. I'm very big on being able to. I know how I struggled growing up. I saw how my mom struggled. My mom struggled putting us through Catholic school, and I'm like, Mom, I could go to such public school, but my mom saw something within us, and she refused to be able to have us to go somewhere locally. I went to West Catholic High School, by the way, but my mom was very big on education. And as far as my youngest, she's a little firecracker, a little hairdresser in her own head, but you know, like mom over here is going to nurture what they love, nurture their passion. And even if the business is not their passion, they still have something that they can call their own. You know what I'm saying? So we also have other stuff. I have a nonprofit organization that I started a couple years ago called the Women United Organization. We're very big on I feel like everybody in this room has a purpose. Everybody has their own gift. And I kind of do a wordplay on the name because it's like giving birth to me. And everybody carries their own gift, but everybody does not know how to get in touch with it. So the purpose of the organization is to help you kind of gear you towards it so you could birth your purpose. You know what I'm saying? So, and I also, with my company, I have a youth program that'll help and teach the teenagers work ethic, business management, how to prep food and prep it, organized and looking for a word, you guys. Because it's not clean, but that's what I'm going towards. Because everybody don't know the kitchen habits of being able to, you gotta have certain stations for certain foods because people contaminate food. You know what I mean? So that was very important because my kids know a lot of people and they like to cook, they like to eat. So I was like, let me take on something. I take on a lot, don't give me no mind, but I know what God put in my heart, what He placed for me to do. And I'm gonna keep on pushing, y'all. I'm gonna keep on pushing. But anybody else have any questions? Anything?
Do you have a assignment kitchen that you work out of?
So when I do events, I rent kitchens throughout the city, and I typically rent a kitchen that's closer to the venue that a client would have their event at. It's a lot easier for me. And even though I had my kitchen coded, I would do my kitchen. I will cook for small amounts of people, like this crowd in my personal kitchen. Anything over 50, I do have one of the kitchens that I rent out throughout the city.
But the question, I'm sorry, I wasn't talking about your personal
Okay.
catering. I thought did you say something about you have like classes to teach kids how to do
So
that?
the mentorship, what we do is whenever I have events, I haven't done it in a few months with the pandemic. A lot of parents aren't okay with having their kids working the events, which is fine. Eventually we'll get into it. But when we would have events, they would come. I would literally shoot out the text message, see who's available. If you're available, give them the uniform list that they're supposed to wear. I have their shirts ready when they get there, and they come and they work. They either decorate, they prep food, they do whatever they're assigned to do. And what I do when I work with them, I try to see where they're good at, see where they need work at, and then kind of go from there. Because kids will very quickly say, well, I don't know how to do this. How much have you really tried to do it? You know what I'm saying? What effort have you really put into, getting the work done, accomplishing whatever that whole goal is. And kids give up very easily. If they feel like it's a challenge, they don't want to do it. So, I always try to push because I don't know. I feel like these kids have so much greatness inside of them, and they don't have someone around all the time to push them and, get them moving forward. So, yeah. Anybody else? Yes, I am. I'm here in East Oak Lane.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So we don't have an actual space because most of the time I do event planning. I've even prayed and asked God, like, this space that you want me to have. And, I'm right now, I'm in this waiting phase, but I know it's so scary how God gives you things. He gave me the end result in the dream. He gave me the end result in a dream. And when I got up, I was like, God, I know you playing with me, right? How grand that thing is, you see yourself in a certain way. You know what I mean? You don't see yourself as this big conglomerate. You see yourself as who you are. And, being honest about myself, I have insecurities. Sometimes I'm unsure about this journey. Sometimes I'm like, God, you sure it's me? It ain't sis across the street or whoever will do. I still think that. But at the end of the day, I know what God planted in me. And the only thing I got to do is stay that course. And I know that end game is going to come. Whatever's in between, I'm still trying to figure out. So, yeah, that's it, you guys. So I do an array of food. I'm not classically trained. I'm self-taught, but working in the hotel industry, I had to learn the luxury, fine dining, type things. But I do anything from Southern soul food to Americanized soul food. We do Mediterranean cuisine, Italian cuisine. I'm a whole firecracker, though. I'm not in the box at all, I promise. I actually have a birthday party coming up in November, and she's doing a Mediterranean theme, and the menu is just insane. I'm excited to do it because some of the stuff for this party, things that I have not done yet. So what I do is I'll get back to you if it's something I've never done before, and I think and I practice and I practice and I practice until I feel like it's what it should be. Then I'm like, okay, this is it. I got you. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Any other questions? I do bake as well. I can do darn near anything bacon, but I choose not to because my OCD kicks in and bacon is tedious. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. No, I'm serious. Maybe like 3 years ago, I did a birthday cake. It was a 3-layer Power Rangers birthday cake. I don't know why Power Rangers decided to pop out of nowhere. And when I tell you I was doing that cake, trying to smooth it out, I kept re-smoothing and re-smoothing. I was like, this is not working. This is gonna be glass cake. But yes, I do. But with my business, I have a lot of vendors. So I have contacts with photographers, videographers, bakers, people who do the treats. I am in contact with maybe over 100 venues across the city that my clients use. Yeah, we have a ton of venues that we're connected with. I'm appreciative of this time that I've been in business because it's connected me to so many great people. And I'm just grateful to God for the connections because you just never know what comes from it. You know what I mean? Anybody else? I'm gonna get started. Yes.
So we talked about all of the stuff, different like businesses that you run. So in terms of like structure and organizing your business, do they fall under like one umbrella or are you kind of like operating separately?
So my businesses, I operate them separately, but I incorporate them with each other when it's necessary. Like this year I didn't do it because of the pandemic, but I do something called the Women United Conference, where during Women's History Month, which I think is March, is when we usually do it. And I invite guest speakers. My company does the food, but it's through the Women United organization. And it's a good time. It's a good vibe. We have performers. And so this year, the theme was going to be, from surviving to thriving. And I'm going to incorporate it for next year because I think that is so important. I feel like as women, a lot of times we get in that survival mode, especially being moms. I'm a single mom. And we focus so much on raising the kids and making sure home is right and making sure the bills paid and X, Y, Z, but we forget about ourselves. And I wanted us to understand that just because we have those additional things that we take care of, don't mean that we can't take care of ourselves. So self-care is so important. It is so important. So, that's going to be kind of the gist of it. And there's going to be an underlining where we're going to discuss the things that keep hindering us. So this way we can get to that thriving. So I'm excited about that event next year in March. Anyone else?
All right, just tell me thank you so much for supporting us, supporting what we're doing. Like I said, we'll take a break. We'll come back at 4:03 now. We'll take the 4:20, relax, network, get some food, and just go both of this. Network, and you can come back at 4:20 for our last two offers. All right?
Okay. Is there like a pause on
Yeah.
there?
Pause. All right, everyone. Sorry for that long intermission, but I think I was enjoying your food and networking. That's most important. So we have our. So we have our last two offers here. So what we're gonna do is have our fourth author go.
Oh, you want me to go?
Yeah. All right. So let's get a round of applause for Miss Hazel McGriff. Hazel was born and raised in the city of Philadelphia in the beautiful state of Pennsylvania. Hazel considers the belief in her faith and her family to be dear and important to her. If she is not spending time with her family or friends, she is helping others. She has a passion for helping others, caring people, led Hazel to write her first children's book, Gun Bloody Arms, which is a children's book about social distancing. Also, Hazel is a wife and mother of two sons. She works in the public school system in Montgomery County as a secretary. So let's give a round of applause, Miss Hazel McGriff. Yes, you're welcome.
Opportunity. Yes, I am from Philadelphia. I was honored to come back as an author in West Philadelphia because it's where I was born. I reside in Montgomery County where I live with my husband that's here, and I have two sons. That one is a junior at Kennedy University, another one is an 8th grader at a private school in Philadelphia, County. And a little bit about why I became an author. Last year, we all went through this thing, something called the global pandemic. And in this global pandemic, my supervisor was Principal Thomas Criswell. So I currently work as a secretary in the district for years. He wanted me to help the children be safe in the school. Immediately, I said, Lord, I'm sick myself. I don't know what this is. We got about 500 kids in the school. And we were not vaccinated. None of us were vaccinated. As you all know, the children 11 and 13 were still not vaccinated. But instantly, when I said, and I had to hear that God turned me down, and he said, I want you to have them use their home. And when he said that, I immediately knew what that meant because I said, use their arms. I knew he didn't want me to say, throw them up in the air, put them in front of you. He wanted me to have the children stretch their little arms out. So social distancing by using the forms that God has given us. And that became a tool that we used in the school. We called it airplane on. We called it Google on. We called it all sorts of different things. We needed to get our little boys and girls from their classroom to the cafeteria. We all had different roles. My role was not the only secretary. We had to wear multiple hats. My hat was to help the kids be safe, so I helped out in the cafeteria, which was very difficult. I've never done that before, and we decided to use that tool. And from that tool, like I said, that I wrote a book. From writing a book, I decided that let's see about doing another book because Young Buddy wants about social distancing. I thought that I would probably do a third book. Well, God, I thought my third book would be a children's book, but God said, no, your third book needs to be your second book because I didn't think that we were going to be in this situation as long as we are, and you're still currently in this global pandemic. So I have an activity book that is also they're both on Amazon. I'm currently working on a third book. Third book is with the illustrator right now. The illustration takes a long time. And like I said, that I've always wanted to be an author, but I thought I was going to be writing about what I knew about myself. And God said it's not about you, it's about you. And I said, well, Lord, I've been working with children since I was 13 years old. You know, so either way, he said that I want you to do something different, and I want you to help the kids be safe, but I want you not only to share with your school and the community where you live in, I want you to share the best way to share with the world on your World Wide Web. I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited to use. There's not where I live at. There's not a lot of people of color that work in the school system. And many years ago, I went back to school and everything. I decided that instead of me, I should stay and continue to work in my field as an administrator because they need examples. They need that look like them to be out there where the other people are calling the other people who are that out there. Very excited to again to come back in Philadelphia, in West Philadelphia, to be an African American children's author. I'm also looking to other books, but right now this is a series of books that I decided to do. But was an idea that God is one thing to speaking of back up to have a personal relationship with children. Because if I did not have a personal relationship with my Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit, I could have like what you think earlier on, but I could have got sassy with that thought that came to my mind, and I would that I am today. So it's very important to have that understanding when the Lord is speaking to you. Have these other wild thoughts or whatever. The process did not take that long. The book just came out in February of 2021 this year. Second book came out then, but I was already doing the motions, but the motions were okay. Well, instead of just only doing it, I said we should share it, and instantly I do share it, and then I should put it in writing so I can share it with all the other boys and girls. That's how I came up with Young Buddy. Actually, I must say my husband helped me with the name of it because the name of it was Airplane. So he said, well, let's try to change it around. So I had to give my pops a wrong. That's Young Buddy. Come through. They always ask or they, what are their names and everything. It's 22 pages of full illustration. Social distancing. I'm very excited about that. I'm also excited because lesson 6 that I was able to come out with an activity coloring book. Awesome. Children ideas this year. It was launched too, and it has information on the back. My husband is a photographer and he takes all my photos and everything. And he gives you say that, you know, the children, they were all indoors and I didn't let them have to go to, we didn't allow them to do anything. We were afraid, you know, like those people, we didn't let them do. So this year was the first year that we allowed him to do soccer. He's back to going soccer. And it's outside. It's not like wearing a mask with that, but when you're outside in public, you're really supposed to take them off. People say, oh, your book is not going to, you know, do too well because, you know, that's what the naysayers were saying that to me. Because of the fact you're going to be reading like 2 weeks, a month, whatever. But we're still waiting almost 2 years. So I gotta listen to God. I can't listen to people. They don't know our path. They don't know our destiny.
People only people.
Exactly. And I decided the name of my small business is called Shine Soul. So when I shared that name with my book, well, God told me that business will shine. Come on. I heard her say about a legacy. I would like to leave a legacy, whatever I do. My husband does. You know, touch my first one, my own. So we will leave this for them. If they decide they want to take it down later on, Justin and Joseph, they can do that. But either way, what is my purpose? What is my destiny? Why am I here? What am I doing wrong? So I would like to leave this as an author and merchandise, because I didn't know the kids like merchandise. And then just for the t-shirts, they call it merch. Yes. The children, they love the t-shirts that I would wear to school, but I told them they're not on Amazon. And you're not supposed to do something like that. This is what I do. But if you one day you have to talk to your parents, and I got buttons, and they like I had masks, all this different stuff. And I wasn't even ready for it. But when you step out with God, you have no idea. You just vibe, and I thank God for this opportunity. And thank you so much for having me. If you have any questions, you know.
So I have a question for you. Have you shared the book with the kids, the teachers at the school?
Oh, that is.
I know we get the kids.
Yes, I have donated books to Upward Open School,
Okay.
Upward Open Library. I have, over the summer, so I had a lot of time off in the summer, so I did a lot of readings in preschools, daycares. I've done readings with vacation Bible schools. I work in a library, so the books are there for the children to check out, and the librarian, she can read the books for the teachers. They can purchase the books. And you can hear it, and it makes me feel so good in the schools when you hear them say, put up your body arms, put up your body arms, and little babies are walking to the bottom. And I'm saying to myself, oh my God, that's a gift that he told me. Now it's not only to share.
That festival, your work you put the play the scene.
Yes. And I'm just like 1 year I had not 1 year, this I think it was like April, I had the book launch. You had my book launch at my home outside. I think we had like I had like 70 people out.
Ooh,
Or whatever.
That's
Because our
amazing.
yard is really large yard. And, I tried to, teach the young buddy arms to the kids that were there and whatnot. And it was very rewarding or whatever. So I'm glad you asked the question about did I read. I've done a lot of things and made connections with franchises.
That's awesome.
It's Play and Learn, Westchester Academy. Just people reached back to the day and said, my children, they were so excited for me to come back and read.
That's
Said, oh, where we live at, there was a big bad tornado. So just helping a neighbor not far from where we live, it's like 70, 78, or whatever, just make connections. One of the things I heard two little kids somewhere came out of the conversation. She was all excited. Oh, for her little 4-year-old, and they were just, so this making connections. So I was excited to be there just to help out. Had no idea to helping out. So asked me about, close to the schools. But I do a lot of cultural readings, and I connected with the library. Yes. So I'm waiting for her to connect with me so I can do an in-person at the library reading of them that are already at the library. I have been able to go to the school. Many hours that I work. I can only do my small business in summer or in the winter. I do home helpers, but it has something like that. And I love this age. She's third grade. That's one of my favorites. Second, third grade. They're like one.
Do another one.
Yes, that's my third book. I did say it was the illustrator who would like to say. Probably there would be another reading book. The third book would be about the vaccine. God told me to have manners, hygiene, and continuous social distancing. That's something that I've always had an issue with. Give me my space. I'm gonna give you a look. So that's something that we should just do. We definitely have to teach the children manners so they can teach them the adult manners. I can only work with the children right now. Children say, why can't you have look about the adults? Like, I can't do that right now. That's somebody else's thing. That's never fair. I'm like, praise the Lord. They say they don't want to go to the mall because they go to the mall, go to the market. Mask is here, mask under the nose. Like, I gotta stay home. Like he said, we gotta stay home. We have to wear the mask. So they're not wearing the mask. Somebody's got to help the children. And that's me with the stories, so maybe they can help the adults. Because we all have to be safe. We all have to be season of this pandemic. That's what we have. We only got no hours. And if you want me to do a report, I'm certain. You know, I'm not here for anything else but help my husband. You said you help everybody with my husband. Yeah, I know your family too, but I'm just saying, my name is Help Baby. That's my name. That's what I just do. I just help. Help, give back. Give back. Because when he says, well done, my good and faithful servant,
Come on, yeah.
I'd like to drink down here. I need some.
Come on.
Thank you so much again for listening to me. And my information is here. We have a website that's open. It's not listed on my card.
Give her applause, Ms. Hazel McGrath. So, quick story. She was one of the first officers to confirm this event today. So first was confirmed, and she knows she was referred to by Melissa Montero. Yeah, so she referred you. So I reached out to you. I think that night I was like, okay, you confirmed. She confirmed. So this is awesome. So now we're now to our last offer. So let's see her. She just got here. She had an event. She pressed her way through here. You know, so I appreciate that. And what I read here, bio was very, very impressive. So I won't read it, and then we're gonna have her do some features. So we will introduce our final author of Office Cafe 31 Strength, Ms. Kayla Everett. Kayla was born and raised in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. In 2018, she graduated from Upper W High School and began her career as a successful and common student at Western University of Pennsylvania. By our alma mater, the School of Champions. School of Champions. something about that school. There's so many great some stories at school for people I went to school with. You know, I always say the school champions because of people there that were resident at school are awesome people, you know, in life. So now, at a mid age of 21 years old, Kelly is an entrepreneur, author, advocate, and empowered African American woman who is driven to attain all her professional and life goals. Kelly has made a mission to increase awareness of heart health and mental health amongst athletes. And at spare time, Kelly manages the men's basketball team at our school as well as the football team. She serves as secretary for Blackburn United at the University. She's a member of the Legal Council of Legal Women, a mentor for potential college students, and a youth leader.
Wow.
Along with her many roles, Kelly enjoys serving on her parents' ministry, life-changing Christian fellowship. As Kelly continues to pursue academic studies, she is also working towards her goal of becoming a sports psychologist who is an advocate for the mental health needs of all athletes for motivation in sports. Eventually, Kelly desires to open a practice exclusive to athletes for physical and mental rehabilitation. Kelly is an author of Technical Foul on sports-like conduct and experience of mental health in athletes, which was released in April 2020, the first of many books to come. So let's welcome our final author, Ms. Kayla Everett. Woo! Yes!
Yeah. So that was good. And then, so I started writing my book last year during the pandemic of 2020. It was just like a topic that I always wanted to learn about or read about, but it was nothing out there for me to actually read. So I decided to take it for myself to do the research. And based on what I experienced from working with the sports team at my school and being an athlete prior to becoming a college student, I just decided to take that knowledge and put it into a book. Just talk about how mental health and athletes can affect them physically or mentally as they get older, as they go throughout their career as professional athletes, whatever the case may be. And I really just wanted to promote that throughout my book, because a lot of times, like, we look at athletes and we don't necessarily take into consideration what they may be going through outside of sport or anything like that. So that's really why I decided to write this book, why I decided to do the research and things like that. Like I said, I did write it during the pandemic. I think I started writing it in February and I finished it. I edited myself. I wanted to be self-edited and stuff like that. So I did all that by myself. I released it on April 6th of 2020. So I am in the process of doing a second edition to my book. But for right now, I do have the first edition. Going pretty well as far as like getting it out there to other athletes. I've been connecting with a lot of the athletic directors at my school and things like that. So they have the book as well. They're talking to it about their athletes and things like that. And a lot of my athlete friends, I've been helping them, or I've been donating a book to them for them to read. And I've been also on the radio talking about my book. I did multiple interviews. And I just think that mental health athletes is a topic that isn't really talked about as much as it should be. And now with what happened with the Olympics and stuff like that, it's going to be a topic that will blow up. And I definitely feel like this is where I should be as far as promoting the mental health of athletes and student athletes, professional athletes, whatever the case may be. And some of the things that I actually do mention in my book is about financial stressors, academic stress, daily stress, whatever the case is, that anything that an athlete may go through throughout their time being an athlete, I talk about it in some point in my book. Drug use, anything, concussion. I talk about all that sports injuries. So I'm actually proud of my book and I look forward to many years to come. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
I graduated from Upper Darby High School. Yeah. I'm at Westchester. Yeah, I graduated in May.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Yeah.
So I have a major in interdisciplinary studies and a double minor in public science and technology. So I actually did exercise science my first couple of years at Westchester, but because I wanted to do like other things, I just so I didn't.
Got another book coming out too?
Yeah, it's the second edition to this book. So I have one available on my website. I've done some things like in-person orders and stuff like that. It's Miss Taylor Everett.com. If you haven't signed, no, not since I was in my opinion. Yes, that's right. That's the first person who's changed. Oh, okay, that's cool. Okay.
I want to say first of all, thank you for putting this book out there for athletes because mental health last year during the pandemic became a big issue. You talk about NBA being a bubble, them isolated for the families, you know, there were a lot of that, and then also we talk about Olympics because the main conversation was mental health. It wasn't about how many gold medals such won or medals they won. It's really about mental health. Primarily what Simone Biles did. You know what I mean? And I want to thank you because that's a conversation that's needed because athletes go through a lot of stuff, a lot of pressure. They don't know how to have an outlet to talk to someone about that. And it's a shame. It was a shame that I think so Michael Phelps said that was not Olympians were not getting enough therapy because we represent your country. That's a lot of pressure for your family, especially this year where they could have been a family and friends to Tokyo. So it was a lot of pressure for them to do well. You know what I mean? In fact, and you don't do well, the face your mental health. So I want to thank you for that because mental health and athletes has always been a topic, but it's been under the rug. But now you're on the front runner of having a conversation about mental health. And I want to thank you for that. So
Too. So I know how stressful it was, like trying to balance, like coming from high school, and trying to balance college life and football. Like, you know, football life is all year round.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember just being, I ain't stressing, like I ain't doing I study, I'm too tired to study, and this really think it wears on you. So I definitely appreciate you writing something like that. You know what I mean? And you think of the guy who was the head of the police at Westchester grad, my roommate, he's from right down here. He's the first black chief of police on campus, Wilbur Stevenson. So that's what's up. I'm gonna get a book.
Naomi was talking to some.
Ooh, yes.
Did you write about her?
Yeah, I heard about her. I read about
Did you write about her?
Oh, not in here. Yeah, this is I wrote this before, but it was just when I was listening to their stories, it just made me want to like do more with my book and promote it and things like that. But I do want it to reach like that particular group and stuff like that eventually.
Thought about sending feelers out to like the tennis.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to go about doing it to that level. I did like colleges, but not.
They do, and that was gonna be my question. What do you do to market? Because the book that you have, it would be very, it's very vital for those avenues to have access to it. So they could, a lot of times people have mental health issues and don't even know they have mental health issues. And to have a book like that would definitely, girl, that thing's crazy. But I'm gonna give you my number because to market, you got to. That book right there. I had chills when you talked about that book. So yeah, I'm gonna give you my number for you. Very good topic.
Anyone else? Let's get a round of applause, Kevin. Give a round of applause to all the authors here tonight. So that, what we're gonna do is stay on with our math. So all the guests have a ticket. Only the guests have a ticket. The guests that came with the offers. So what we're gonna do is have someone pick out of the cup here, say out a number, and whoever gets the number will pick a book they want for their offer to take up and sign it, take a picture, it's like that. So and then after that, the offer that put the book that got them selected will pick the next person and so forth. All right. So does anyone have a ticket? You got one?
Yeah, I will volunteer to take out the
So I'm gonna have Miss Tiffany pick one. This is the first one. I'm gonna have her hold the switch here.
Okay.
All right.
right there.
Okay.
Where's the book sold?
Oh, it's available on Amazon. Yes.
What's the name? Tell me the name.
It's building relationship. It's about more than going to church.
It's about.
It's about more than just going to church.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, so 666278. Okay, yeah.
All right. So what book you want from offer?
It's Nate. You made me double check because I can't see.
Which one? John? Him? Oh, okay. Yeah, no.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So what we're gonna do is have her pick the next person. All right. Okay. All right, 666-276.
Oh, that's great.
All right.
So you get the pick after all.
All right. So what book do you want for what offer?
I want this young lady book right here.
Which one? Caleb? All right.
Awesome.
Oh, 273. Right here.
But one just came out.
Okay, all right. So what book do you want?
I'll take the building relationship.
Okay, all right.
That's awesome.
Beyond, MIT, Oh, you can make up the time. Make up the time. AL18.
All right, take the picture. All right, 666-272. All right. So we got Hazel left and John Smith left.
What are the supposed back there?
Oh, say it again? Sorry.
What were the supposed?
Oh, what are the spider books that came out?
What's the name of it? What's the name of it?
Social distancing.
Social
distancing.
Social distancing in the school environment. They're going to about fourth grade.
Okay.
And what was,
You can read the baby down.
John's virtual, I'm sorry, this is John turning it out of faith. John's virtual. Oh, what's the name of him again? You got their children. I'll take the first one.
okay.
Yeah,
She did. Oh, no, both of y'all, wow.
You're welcome.
That's it? Oh, that's it? Okay. All right, so you want to see the book.
that one was already. He did.
All right, all right. So first of all, I want to say thank you for all the guests, first the guests who support your offers that came through today. I think everyone has something. I really appreciate that. Give yourself a round of applause. I want to thank the authors for coming on this Saturday to share about their journey and learn from each other and make have new connections here. That's really awesome. I want to thank Miss Tiffany who's supplying the food for us today. I want to thank, give a shout out to LaVon McMillan, who's on this space here for us, allowing to have me here. So,
Awesome.
so I really appreciate her. She's not here. She's in Jamaica right now for vacation. So yeah, so that's why she's not here today. But she's a big supporter of this cafe, and she loves what I'm doing. So she was to give this space to me today. So we do having y'all here. It's the first time we've been in person over a year. Last Almost Cafe is for the past have been virtual. You know, I want to be that in person feels like that. So thank you for your time. It's 5:12. Like I said, I thought we'd be done early. So, but I do want to take pictures of all the authors with their books before y'all leave, and that I want to take pictures of all the authors with their books before they leave, and also take them from home. Take them from home, please. If you can't. That's okay. I'll take you home. So I also last note there, but shout out to my wife, Fatima.
Oh,
She's
right.
on here watching on Zoom right now with us. So she's the only one that joined us today on Zoom. But I love it so much. Hey, man, before so see a picture, then we go from there. Thank you so much.
Laverne, you want me to end it?